and welcome to this latest episode in our video diary journey through DDP Yoga, general fitness, and my life in general. I'm Henry Higgins, and last week, we spoke about it briefly in the video last week. I was switching it up because I'd done like 8 weeks of stand-up, and then I did 4 weeks of fat burner. And I found that the 8 weeks of stand-up was a mistake simply because when I was doing fat burner, I hadn't done any floor exercises, floor motions, and I really struggled with them. So I decided after I'd done the 4 weeks of stand-up, the 4 weeks of fat burner, that I would put together my own mixtape. DDP Yoga has its version of the mixtape. And I thought to jazz it up a little bit, I would do my own. And as I was going through the exercises, picking and choosing here and there, I picked out enough that I actually have a Schedule A and a Schedule B, and that's what I was doing. So Monday was Schedule A, Tuesday B, Wednesday A, Thursday B, Friday was A. So then Monday will be B, and it will carry on like that, so it'll alternate them. I'll try that for a while, because I've got exercises from across the gamut of the programme. With regards to that, it kicked my arse this week. As you can see to the side of me, this is Schedule A, and it focuses more on the upright stuff. A little bit on the mat, but mostly upright stuff. And this is Schedule B, which is more grounded. So with that, it's focusing on a certain section, for lack of a better way of putting it, and so it's upstairs on a day, downstairs on a day kind of thing, but it is working the upper and lower body. And yeah, it kicked my arse this week, but I did it, and I feel great for it, so I'm definitely doing that again next week and going forward. Eventually we may mix up the mixtape and get some different exercises in there, but these are the exercises I'm comfortable doing. They do stretch me and push me, literally stretch me, but figuratively as well, you know. They do stretch and push me. And with the condition of my hips and various other things, they're not impossible to do, and the range of motion in those exercises will increase over time. So I was very happy with that. I still don't know what I weigh. So again, I can't get a replacement battery for the scales. I could order, as I said, I could order one home delivery, but the postage and packaging would be more than the cost of the batteries, and I'm not doing that. So we'll just get a nice surprise when the hardware store, the local hardware store that does sell this type of battery, opens up. But yeah, it was a really good week. It went really well. I was so happy with how I felt. The bespoke workout was also included in there, and the red hot core for the most part. And yeah, I felt it, but in the best way possible. So I'm looking forward to the next 3 weeks of that. We'll work everything on like a 4-week cycle. But yeah, it went well, I'm happy with it, and we'll see how things progress. In my personal life, still working from home. Been a tough couple of weeks, but it was payday yesterday. Today's Saturday, so it was payday yesterday. Because it's a bank holiday on Monday, it should have been Monday. So yeah, I'm going to have a look online, see if I can treat myself to something as a celebration of making it this far in this absolutely terrible year. But with work, I'm hoping that we're going to be moving towards a practice where it's not constantly working from home. As much as I do like the benefits, it's nice to be around people. One of the things, I think I mentioned this last week, one of the suggestions was that my team goes in for a day and another team goes in for the next day and we alternate working from home, or we do it for a week. So like next week, my team's in the office all week. The week after that, we're all working from home and the other team is in the office all week. But these are things that can be juggled around. There's going to be a lot of changes for everyone, even when the lockdowns are lifted and things are all open. There's still going to be social distancing things. There's still going to be different processes and regulations in place. So it's going to be an interesting time, but I love my job. I love the people I work with, and I look forward to us going to the Christmas party in December and looking back at this period and making jokes about it. As you know, dark humour sometimes is the only way to get through dark times. Josh is here. Well, obviously the schools aren't in anyway, but it would have been half term with the schools. So me and his mum agreed that since it would have been half term, he doesn't have to do any schoolwork during this period, so he's actually going to be here with me for the whole time, which I'm really happy about. So we're going to be watching Die Hard 2 tonight. Watched Die Hard last week. And since he's here the whole time, till a week on Monday, we're probably going to get through all the Die Hards this week. Then Robocop, we're probably going to jump onto them. But I was watching a video on Cinemassacre yesterday. Cinemassacre is a great channel. It includes the Angry Video Game Nerd, if you've ever heard of him. It's fantastic. But they talk about movies a lot and themes and old movies. And it's a really great show to watch. It's really, the guys are fantastic, great chemistry, and they're just very, like you're talking with old friends kind of thing. And their tastes in films and what they like in films and how they can appreciate bad films can be good. It really goes well with my own sensibilities. But they were talking about movies with telephones as a central plot device or a major device. So the opening of Scream, When a Stranger Calls, that kind of thing. So, and one of the movies they mentioned was Phone Booth, and I'd completely forgot about Phone Booth. And Phone Booth is a fantastic film. It's a short movie as well. It's only like 70 something minutes long for a feature movie, but it's a fantastic movie. So I thought, when we've done the Die Hards, I might watch Phone Booth with them. A little break of pace, because we haven't really watched a movie where it's just tension, and I'd like to see how he reacts to that kind of movie. So when we've done the Die Hards, I might throw Phone Booth in there to break up the action stuff. There is action in Phone Booth, obviously, but to break up the action movie genre, throw in a Phone Booth in there, and then jump onto the Robocop stuff. And we'll see how that goes with Josh, who, incidentally, just became an uncle. Because my stepson, Richard, his oldest brother, and Ellen, his fiancée, had a little baby girl. Zelda is about 12. And she's so cute. It's a great picture that Josh's mum, or Richard's mum as well, who's now a grandmother as well, so congratulations to Becky. She sent a picture of Richard just gazing at his daughter, and it's the picture perfect example. It encapsulates fully why you can't explain to someone who doesn't have kids what it feels like to be a mother or a father. It does change you, it changes how you perceive things, and I'm so happy for them. Entertainment wise, for me personally, all the Arrowverse shows have now finished. Huge shocking news that Ruby Rose has left Batwoman after the first season, so they're going to recast the character for the second season going forward. So that's going to be interesting. I actually enjoyed Ruby Rose in the role, I enjoyed Batwoman, but from reports that are coming out, it seems that she wasn't the easiest to work with, and for her, the schedule just wasn't right for her, with long days and various other things, so a mutual parting seems like the best thing for everyone. Some people are saying, well, how are they going to write in that she looks different? And the simple answer is you just don't acknowledge it. Plenty of shows have switched characters around from what one actor has left and someone else has come in. Because you just don't acknowledge that it's a new person. The character is the same, it's just someone else playing them. That's it. So I don't see them going down the route of having to explain why Batwoman looks different. Really, or Kane looks different. So I imagine Batwoman, the actual look with the long red hair, everything, there's not going to be much of a different look there. But Kane's going to look different. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be weird as well because all of them had to finish early. So while they had their finales, having watched the end of Supergirl, Supergirl not so much, maybe it did kind of end on a good note, or on a final note of that story leading into a new one. But the end of Flash definitely wasn't the finale they were going to go for, so it looks like the first couple of episodes of the next season of Flash, Batwoman, possibly Legends of Tomorrow as well, I haven't got to the end of those yet, will be what would have been the end of the first season, or the previous season, sorry. So the first couple of episodes will tie that up, similar to Titans. When Titans ended its first season, it ended on quite a cliffhanger. They'd cut an episode out, so the first episode of season 2 was the finale of season 1, really. And then they very rarely made much reference to season 1 across season 2. It was almost like a soft reboot in a way. But they didn't completely ignore it, there was some things to put in there. So they're out the way, so TV show wise I'm pretty much done. Unless something special comes out between now and January of next year, which is when the Arrowverse shows are due to come back. So I'm looking forward to that. The Snyder Cut is getting released on HBO Max in 2021. That's going to be a big deal for anyone who doesn't know. When Justice League was being in production, Zack Snyder, who was the director of Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, was also the director of this. A personal family tragedy meant that he had to leave the movie. When he had done that, virtually all of his principal photography had been done. But there was still some special effects work that needed done. When he left, Joss Whedon came in, who most people know him from Buffy and Angel and the Avengers movies, the first Avengers movies. He did them as well. So they brought him, and he had a pedigree of doing a combined superhero movie with Avengers. So they brought him in for Justice League. And what was touted was that it was only some minor reshoots, which didn't seem to be the case. Henry Cavill famously had gone on to shoot the Mission Impossible movie where he had a moustache that he was legally not allowed to shave off. So they digitally removed the moustache, but they did a rush job of it and it looked terrible. And when you watch that movie, pretty much the majority of Superman's scenes in that movie have the digital moustache removed. So that shows that pretty much all of the scenes with Superman in it were reshoots from Joss Whedon, not what Zack Snyder had already shot. And that's like the second half of the movie. The Snyder Cut comes in at roughly 4 hours, 3.5 to 4 hours long. And from what reports have said, it's the finale is definitely different, so the last third of the movie is definitely different. But from what they've said, it seems that almost 40, even less than 40, maybe even 30% of the movie is what Zack Snyder did. So this Snyder Cut is going to be a very different film. And when they were talking about what Snyder had done before the cut was confirmed to be released, or even confirmed to exist, just what his original script had, there is a lot of differences there. The interesting thing is, and this popped up in my Facebook feed today before I went to shoot this video, is that 3 years ago, this is when Snyder was taken out of the movie, or he left the movie because of his personal issues. And the fans, or I'll say the fans online, were celebrating that Zack Snyder had to leave the movie. So they got what they wanted, which was Joss Whedon's version. And now they're all celebrating the Snyder Cut being released. And it's kind of like, and I've said this on a number of things, it goes for wrestling fans and video game fans. Generally speaking, people want what they want until they get what they want. Then they want something else. And that's what's happened here. They wanted Snyder out, they got Snyder out, now they want Snyder in. But the interesting thing is, if the Snyder Cut is accepted and is lauded and is a fantastic movie, does it become canon going forward? Does it overwrite the cinematic Justice League movie that came out? It'd be an interesting thing, because when he wrote Justice League, Zack Snyder had already storyboarded, or maybe not so much storyboarded, but had definitely done a spec story draft for Justice League 2 and Justice League 3, and he kind of planned it along the lines of the original Star Wars trilogy, where good guys win, bad guys win in the middle movie, so it's on a bit of a downer, good guys triumph in the end. Which also is how the Avengers went with the Infinity War Endgame, where Infinity War Endgame on a downer because Thanos had won, and then they rebounded back. Those plans obviously were put on hold when the Whedon version came out. So it is going to be interesting to see what happens in that, and I for one am very excited about seeing the Snyder Cut. Warner Brothers have given him $30 million to finish the effects as well, which is a great sign. So yeah, we can all celebrate that. That is a positive of fan. It's not pressure. Pressure is the wrong word, because Zack Snyder wanted to release his cut as well. But fan support of something to get something out there. But the cynic in me is fully expecting people to turn on it after it's released, because some people are just contrarian by nature. If a lot of people like something, they have to dislike it because they think it makes it edgy and cool. For me, I've enjoyed the movies. I can see the faults, don't get me wrong, I can see the faults with the movies, but I've enjoyed them for what they are. X-Men Dark Phoenix is the only superhero movie I've really come out and felt overwhelmingly disappointed, and even that had some good scenes. So I'm quite excited for this. In video game land, as you know, over the last couple of videos, I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I platinumed it last Monday, I believe I platinumed it. No, it must have been Sunday night, Josh was still here. I platinumed Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It took me 143 hours to do, to complete the game in platinum, so that was a lot of time and effort. Interestingly, and coincidentally enough, but a serendipity, in my memories were posts of me getting the platinum for Assassin's Creed Origins, and that took me 93 hours. So this is almost a 50% increase. Well, it's a 50% increase on the time it took to do the previous game to this one. I started Just Cause 4, but I am not feeling it at all. I loved Just Cause 3, and the reviews, both the positive and negative reviews, said it's essentially they compared it to being an expansion pack for Just Cause 3. So I thought, I'm down for that. You know, but if you've got a good thing, give me more of the good thing. Just when people say, oh, it's the same game every year for or various other things, I'm like, yeah, give me a different, like Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey. A few gameplay tweaks aside, you could argue they're a reskin of the previous game. Same with a lot of the other Assassin's Creed games, like Black Flag. Introduce new mechanics, obviously, but the general gameplay. But I love those games, so just give me more of those games. You know? So with this, with Just Cause 4, I thought, oh, it's just going to be Just Cause 3, but with a little tweak here and there. But so far it hasn't been, and I'm just not feeling it. I'm going to give it another go. I've tried 4 times now, played it for a little bit, and then just turned it off. So I'm going to give it one more go, and if it doesn't hook me this time, I'm just going to let it go. And I've got other games down there, I'll give them a try instead. Next week, we're going to continue with the mixtape program, see how that goes. I do feel better about it. Josh is here all week, so as I said, we're going to be watching a lot of movies. I'm going to be finishing up on a project that I've been working on. I'm going to be buying some stuff, so spending money I don't have on things I don't need, kind of thing. So we'll see what that is. I've got some figures that I'm going to put together, some statues. There's no boxes with them, so I'm not going to be doing an unboxing on them. But look out for the Wonder Woman unboxing video, which we actually did a couple of weeks ago. I just haven't got around to uploading it yet, so look out for that. But thank you very much for spending your time watching this video. Please like and share it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.